Pixel fans, rejoice! We might actually have a chance to make a difference in the world with this new line of Pixel 6 phones. Could we be entering into the age of Wintel again? And the iPhone 13 Pro or the iPhone 13 mini? We'll talk about all of this and more on today's episode of Jaydan and Laramie Talk Tech. My name is Laramie.
And I'm Jaydan.
And welcome back to episode 19.
We're getting up there.
I can't believe that.
Yeah.
Jaydan told me earlier this, like, we're episode 19.
Yeah.
And I was just like, where's the time going?
I know. I think we're approaching a year.
Yeah, because we did it shortly after my son was born.
Yeah.
It was probably like 6 months after Joaquin's born, and he's 16 months now.
I feel like it was
17.
fall when we started.
Yeah, I think so too. Honestly, we should have probably just looked it up.
Well, we definitely started when the iPhone 12s came out.
Oh yeah,
remember
we definitely did.
We bought.
We both bought them.
12, so
and
around the same time.
Yeah,
it's been a year.
Yeah, that's crazy. If you've been sticking it with us through the entire thing, we can't tell you how appreciative we are.
Yeah.
You guys are what keeps us going. I mean, if we really wanted to, we could sit by ourselves and talk tech, and we would be enjoying it just as much as doing this podcast. But knowing that you guys listen and hearing every once in a while someone saying, hey, when's the next podcast coming out?
Yeah.
Definitely fills us with a little bit of joy. And it just gives Jaydan and I a built-in time to hang out because we're good friends anyway. But thank you for watching. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, just anyone that you feel like might need like a little lift in their day. We hope that we bring more than just tech to your table.
Yeah.
We bring a little bit of joy and some happiness to you. But I'm getting all mushy and gushy.
Yeah.
I don't need to do
Too
that.
sappy.
Yeah. Hey, I don't think I ever announced to our podcast viewers that I'm having another kid.
Yeah.
So I'm having.
It's now
kid.
official. Now that
Yeah.
the podcast knows.
Now that the podcast knows, we our parents can know now. No, I'm kidding. My parents know, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of cool to have you guys join us in our lives.
Yeah. Daily
and
life.
be a part of it. But we do have some exciting tech stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, we are in the month of October now, which is the month we've been waiting for
a long time.
For a while.
Yeah.
Pixel 6 is getting even closer.
Yep.
No official date yet, but we know it's this month. It will be this month.
Yeah, I couldn't see them pushing it out unless something disastrous happened.
For sure.
But
yeah,
I'm excited. What are your thoughts, man? Have you thought about it anymore? I think last time we left off talking about it, we were undecided on whether or not we were going to get the Pixel 6 Pro or if we would just wait it out for the Fold. How has that changed for you, if at all?
I think I'm still in the same boat. Like, if they announce the Fold and it's like it's coming this year, I probably will get the Fold if it's not a crazy price.
Yeah.
But if they don't say anything about the Fold at the event, I'll get the Pro.
Yeah.
Because I'm super excited for the Pro.
Yeah. It's shaping up to look real good. Really good.
The other thing is, if the Fold is like, it doesn't have as good of cameras and it's mostly just about the Fold, then I probably would get the Pro.
Yeah,
because it'll have a better camera than the
I think
Fold.
that's pretty. Yeah, I think that's pretty much a given. I don't think that they'll have the same camera unit. For sure.
I think the Pro will be the Pro cam. Device.
I agree. It's kind of like Samsung's take on it. Their Fold doesn't have the highest spec'd out cameras on it.
It's all about the screen.
Yeah, it's all about the screen.
Yeah,
which I'm all about that screen.
It's pretty sweet.
I do like that.
Seeing some commercials pop up here and there for the Fold. Man,
dude,
it's pretty cool.
The Samsung Fold, it's pretty sweet.
And we're gonna get into it. The Surface Duo.
Yes,
it's pretty sweet too.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. But I think I'm on this. I think my opinion has changed on what I'll do. I think I'm just gonna go for the Pixel 6 Pro, regardless. I still am very firm, and I don't think that it's going to release this year. I think it's going to be announced this year.
The Fold.
The Fold, the Pixel Fold. But I don't think it's coming this year. And if that's, also, there's no way I'm going to spend the money for it.
Yeah.
Like, no
if
way.
it's 1,800, I think if it's closer to the Surface Duo, like 1,400,
1,500,
1,500, maybe, but that's still a lot for a
It's
phone.
a lot of money. Yeah.
For a phone / tablet. But
And there's a YouTube channel that just went over the pricing breakdown. They had an exclusive on the pricing breakdown. I can't remember who it was.
This is Tech Today. I don't know
Yeah.
his actual name, but yeah, the YouTube channel is This is Tech Today.
Yeah. He said that he had exclusive information on what the pricing was going to be
In Europe,
in
right?
Europe. And so by European standards, he said that we would probably be landing here in the US at around, for the Pixel 6 Pro, at around 1100.
Yeah, which I think he's a little high for like the conversions he was doing.
Yeah.
And some other articles were also pointing out that he's probably pretty close, but they also thought that he might be a little high
Yeah.
for what it'll actually be.
I could see it probably being 999. Me personally, I think so.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I hope that it's more like $799 for the 6 and then $899 for the Pro.
Mm-hmm.
So do the $200 price difference.
Yeah.
Rather than, I think the 6 is going to be $699. I think it's going to be right
That'd be
there.
pretty incredible.
So $50 more than the 5, right? So they're still targeting that upper mid range segment for the base Pixel. But yeah, I don't know. I hope the 6 Pro is not 1100.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's not either. That's what he said. He had exclusive information, but this was the European numbers, and we don't know what they're gonna do. But it's a pretty safe bet that Google is going to be pricing the Pixel line pretty aggressively in the sense of pricing, because there is market research to indicate that you can't price your phones too cheap.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because you'll lose money on them, but because people's perception of the value.
Yeah.
Will
If
be
you're
hurt.
targeting another $1,100 phone in terms of like 1-to-1 comparison, and you're charging $800 for that, people aren't going to see it as a pro phone like the $1,100 phone.
Exactly.
So I get that.
Yeah, I do too. 1,100 just seems like a really big pill to swallow.
Yeah.
I
Depending on how cool it is and the extra features that they haven't shown, I could see myself spending $1,100 for a top end
it would
flagship
hurt
phone.
a little bit.
Yeah, but I could spend that.
Yeah, exactly. I could. I would be like, but if it's like $999, I'm like,
Yeah. Which is in the ballpark of what the Z Flip is.
Yes. Yeah.
So that might make sense.
I think so. There's also more information that would make us believe that the custom chip, because for those of you who haven't listened to our last like 5 episodes, because I feel like Jaydan jokingly said, "What are we going to talk about once it comes out?" Because we won't have anything.
We're going to be out
about.
of news.
Yeah.
So
That's
here's
it.
the Pixel 6. We got our Pixel 6.
We'll have to change it to Jaydan and Laramie talk Pixel, but we were talking about how it's just that pricing model, everything like that. I think if it lands at the $1,000 mark, I think it might be the first phone ever that I've pre-ordered.
Really?
Yeah.
I've pre-ordered almost every Pixel.
Yeah. I'm just too much of a cheapskate. I typically don't. And well, here's the other thing though too, is that I feel that Pixel has not done Pixel fans right.
I agree.
With their phones in recent years. But this seems like this could be the changing tide.
It seems like they have their boxes ticked and like they've done their homework.
Yeah.
They're making sure that this launch is successful. Yeah. Within their means of what they can control. Yeah. And it feels like we said in the intro, we might have a chance this year of having a super successful Pixel launch.
Bar any sort of defects, any sort of screen issues, any sort of overheating issues, battery issues, as long as we don't have those, I think they're set to really make themselves true competitors in the whole...
In the upper flagship
upper level
segment. Yeah,
for sure. I was telling Jaydan that at lunch before this, it's just the software of Pixel stuff has just gotten to such a level that I'm just waiting for the hardware to catch up, and I feel like this could be it.
It could be. I mean, they're very aggressive with their marketing right now.
Their marketing is so cool.
Honestly, a lot of people are very excited for this phone. And I think it's solely because they're being aggressive on the pre-marketing of this phone.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a really cool way to do it where they've announced the phone like for months.
They're generating hype is what they're doing.
For sure.
They're pre-hyping a phone before it actually is announced. Because this is like pre-announcement. It's not even announced because they don't have a price. They don't have a date for when it's released. They haven't even shown off half the features. They've only talked about the specs and what it looks like.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So like it's an announcement before the announcement.
Yeah.
And they're marketing it.
Well, I think what's cool about their marketing strategy, and it's something that we've talked in early episodes about, is that really Pixel needs to be marketing more of a lifestyle rather than like they need to market an icon.
Yeah.
Not just a, hey, look, our phone's pretty cool.
This is what life's like if you have a Pixel phone.
With Material U, it's just like that's you see all the ads and it's all centric around Material U, which is funny because it's a hardware. It's an ad for hardware. But really what's face forward is the software, the Material U aesthetic and design and everything.
Well, and they've always said when they announce Pixel phones is that their vision for not just Pixel phones, when they've talked about Google hardware, they've said that their vision is a merger of hardware, software, and AI, which traditionally in a hardware focus, you'd be about hardware and software. But Google has said that they want to bring AI into that as the same level of priority as hardware and software.
Yeah.
And I think Material U is focusing on that. It's actually showing off that fact that they want your phone to know you and your habits and your preferences and adjust to that.
Yeah. Well, because this latest beta of Android 12 is pretty rock solid for me.
Yeah.
I haven't had any crashes. It's been more than fine. In fact, it's just like the little things that they add here every once in a while, it just gets me more and more and more just hyped for it.
Yeah. I mean, it's looking like Android 12 is going to launch here very soon.
Yeah. Well, typically they launch it with their new phones, right?
Not always with the Pixels.
Not always.
I think the 11, actually, Android 11 came out 2 weeks before.
Oh, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely right.
It was like the end of September, and then the Pixel 5 was announced a couple weeks later.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's right. Because I remember that the Pixel 5 was going to be the first phone to ship with.
Yes.
Android 11. So we might get something pretty similar to that because it's basically done. Like I think
so.
The only thing I'm waiting on is like the weather widget but I also saw in an article that that's going to be an exclusive to Pixel 6, which is kind of annoying. Kind of weird. It's like it's a weather widget, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think it honestly has a lot to do with the development side.
Yeah.
So developers are probably working crazy hours right now for this Pixel 6 to get out the door with rock solid launchers and software. So maybe that's where their developers are right now. They just don't have enough developers to move over and say, okay, let's build the same widget and support it on older Pixels. Because it is different development wise for the Pixel launcher versus just like an app.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, it logistically makes sense. It's just annoying.
It is annoying.
Because, so I don't know if it's the same thing for you, but I use At a Glance a lot, the At a Glance widget, which is basically just like calendar, everything that you really need to know.
On previous versions, it's always been at the main display, the main home screen in the top, dead center.
And it just auto-populates with like stuff that's useful, like your next calendar event or whatever. That has not been super great. Yeah, you can still get it, but it sits underneath the clock and stuff. And then if I remember right, well, I have it right here. I don't think you can interact with it. Yeah, it just brings up the calendar. But the way I would get to my weather without a glance,
go to your widgets. It's still there.
Yes, but it sits underneath it.
Yeah, and it looks dumb.
And it looks really half-baked. You know that this is...
It's because they're getting rid of it.
Yeah, it's because it's in between.
Yeah, they're getting rid of that at-a-glance widget.
Which is really...
I think it's Google, maybe? Is it on your Google app?
Yeah, maybe. Right here. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
So then if I put it here... Yeah, it's stupid, man. Now I have Sunday, October 3rd on both of the things.
Now he's got 2 dates.
It's dumb.
Just in case you didn't know what the date is.
Dumb.
You have
it's
2
October
date
3rd.
widgets.
It's my dad's birthday today. Happy birthday, Dad. He doesn't listen.
He doesn't support my dreams.
He doesn't support it. No, but it's annoying because there's no easy way for me to just like open up my weather now.
Yes, I'm more frustrated at that.
Yes.
They removed
the
weather from the preview and on the always on display.
Yeah.
I actually hardly ever clicked on the weather app. I just wanted to know what's the weather right now.
Yes.
And that was always on my always on display.
That's exactly
and
my
it's not there.
We can't be the only ones that feel that way.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like there must be so many
I think
other
a lot
people.
of people that are on the Android 12 beta, they're like
what?
Where'd my weather
Come
app
on,
go?
man. Yeah, because it's just like, well, is there even a built-in like weather? Oh, I guess maybe. No, it's not on the front page of Google Feed either.
No, if you open the Google app.
Yeah, stupid.
It is there.
I don't. That's too many button clicks.
But yes, this is the price of beta software.
True.
Go to Discover.
Right. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Well, which that should be on the Discover page.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah. No, Jayden's just helping me troubleshoot. Anyway, I mean, that doesn't deter us from being excited. Like, we're still super excited about the launch.
Yeah.
I'm just like.
I think on the actual Android 12 launch, they will definitely add the weather back.
They better.
It'll just be like a little weather preview. It won't be the weather widget.
Yeah.
That we've seen that looks pretty cool on Material U.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else is there about the Pixel? We have the display. I think we talked about that last time in New York.
Mm-hmm.
We really got a really good look at that. We were talking about how it just really is shaping up for a lot of us that are the super fans, which Jaydan got the super fan invitation. I guess Google doesn't like brown people.
They don't like Laramie. They don't like you if your name is Laramie.
Yeah, I guess so. They saw, hey, that's that Laramie guy. They just let anyone in here anymore. No, they didn't. They didn't invite me.
So a little bit of context. Pixel Superfans is like a program that Google's been doing for like a year and a half, 2 years now.
Yeah, it's been a while. I think it's been a few years.
Yeah. And it's a club, but it's not like that cool. I don't even have any information other than I got the invite and I hit accept and answered a couple of questions.
I'm in the club.
So I don't
know. Care though.
I don't really know what that entails, but it sounds interesting.
Yeah, I think because the Superfan has been around for a while.
Yeah, and when they launched it, it was only to people that had like bought every Pixel, which I don't know why it's taken me this long to get an invite to the Superfans because I've owned every Pixel. Anyways, they only sent like these invites out to people that have owned every Pixel, and because they recognize, okay, these people like really like Pixel and they're part of Team Pixel or whatever. And so the Superfans, they had events and stuff. There was a couple of events at the Google campus that they invited people to come to.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So you could come and like meet the team that works on Pixel.
Maybe I could be your +1.
Yeah, I would. I mean, if I got an invite,
we're a package deal, Google.
I would definitely, if I got an invite, I definitely would call them and be like, "Can I bring someone?" Because like we do this podcast and we talk about it. So
we're converting people.
Yeah, they actually had that in the survey. They said, "Have you referred someone to Pixel before?" They also asked, like, "Have you already referred to someone, or are you planning on referring people?" So it is about people that are like very serious about Pixel.
Yeah.
And
I'm not serious enough about it.
I don't know really what it entails, like if I'm gonna get an invite to anything or discounts on stuff. But
I mean, I didn't own the 4, so I guess they were probably like,
this
guy doesn't have the Pixel 4.
He's not a true diehard.
It was a crap phone. It was a great phone except for the battery life.
Should have got the XL.
Did I talk about it? I don't know if I talked about it last time, but the Pixel 4 feels like the phone that got away.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the one that I was like, and then
it was
like,
so
the battery
close.
was so horrible.
Yeah.
It was
horrible. The 4XL, the battery was fine.
Yeah.
It wasn't great, but
yeah,
it was fine.
But that's the Pixel 6. It's so close, guys. I mean, what? So our next podcast will be in 2 weeks. So it'll be the 20th. There's a good chance that it'll be announced by then, I think. I'm thinking we're looking at like the 18th, 19th.
We could be, yeah. So the next podcast, based on John Prosser's rumor, we're probably going to be talking about, hey, the event's tomorrow, or it's 2 days from now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
for sure.
And then after that will obviously be the recap.
Can we just talk about Prosser and how he's trying to leak the Pixel or the iPhone 14?
I think it's hilarious.
Hilarious.
And he's probably very accurate.
Yeah.
I think his mocks of the 14 are spot on.
I just think it hurts his credibility a little bit that he didn't. I mean, he got the Apple Watch correct, but he didn't.
Yes.
Because it didn't release.
He got it correct along with all the other people that got it correct.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's ironic that now he's being like, I didn't get that information right, but next year,
yeah.
a whole year
I think he's
away.
making fun of it, though, too.
Is he?
In his most recent ones.
Satire?
Maybe not in videos, but I saw a tweet from him where he was like, someone said Leaker just announced something about the MacBook Pros, who got the Apple Watch leaks wrong. And then he said, I'll allow it. Because he's like, I don't know what else I can say to that.
Yeah. Well, and so, so for those of you who don't know, John Prosser is like a really big leaker, as in he leaks tech information, I don't know what his bowels are like, but he's a big leaker.
Gross.
And he just recently, along with everybody else, got the Apple Watch wrong. It was supposed to be a big redesign, supposed to implement the 12's design language of being very squared off. Mm-hmm. And what probably happened, which is what he explained as to why he's wrong, is that there was a big design issue. And so they had to pivot, which good on Apple. They pivoted really well. Mm-hmm. But he's now saying that he has exclusive information on what the 14 is going to look like.
I think he's spot on, though.
You think so?
I think it will look exactly like the iPhone 4.
I think it's ambitious.
Really?
I think Apple is not known for making that quantum of leaps.
But titanium, I could see them moving to titanium.
Yeah, I could see that for sure.
And then I could also see them making it thicker to avoid the triple camera bump.
Yeah.
Or I guess technically double camera bump that they have right now.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like the phone module or the camera modules on phones are pretty iconic. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's why Apple has kept the notch for so long, is because it's iconic, not necessarily because they can't get rid of it. Yeah. I know they could. If they really
tried. Could drop Face ID and switch to Touch ID.
Yeah, something like that. But I just feel like the back is too iconic for them to just go to flat.
Well, so he was saying initially that it would be flat, but then there was some other stuff that I saw. His guy that does the renders.
Yeah.
I follow him on Twitter, and he was saying, I actually don't know that it's going to be flat on the back, but in the like CAD renders or whatever they got, they said that it was flat, but the camera
the actual
lenses weren't on there, so that's why he didn't mock it with the lenses.
Gotcha.
But I'm pretty sure the lenses will still protrude from the back of the phone.
Yeah.
But right now on iPhones, it's actually 2 camera bumps. Yeah. There's one layer, and then there's the camera lenses. So it sounds like they're going to make it thicker to get rid of that first bump.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
On the 14.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
No, that would make more sense.
I agree with you though that they wouldn't get rid of the array completely because that's iconic. Yeah. Like someone looked at the back of that and they're like, "Oh, that's an iPhone."
Yeah. The stovetop.
Yeah.
Like that's what it looks like to me every time I see it.
Pikachu with its mouth open.
yeah. So I don't know. I just like his renders, his predictions of the iPhone 14 just seem incomplete, which they are because it's a whole year away.
He also got the 13 spot on though.
Yeah, but
the notch.
Yeah,
because there was like 4 different rumors going around a whole year ago about what the next notch would look like.
Yeah.
And he nailed it. He was like, I've seen it, the 13. This was a year ago. He's like, that's exactly what the notch looks like. And that's what it looks like on the 13 this year.
Yeah. No, so, he definitely. Well,
I think he has good sources. Like
it's the nature of leaking.
Yes,
it's just
you're gonna get some things right and some things wrong.
And so when someone's sitting here trying to convince me they know what the iPhone 14 looks like, I'm gonna be like, yeah, okay.
Okay.
But so this is actually pretty perfect and indicative of how exciting the iPhone 13 has been. We're already talking about
the 14. The 14 is immediately more interesting than the current 13. Yeah.
Reviewers have gotten their hands on, not gotten their hands on. They're actually giving out their reviews.
Yeah. They've had it for a couple weeks now. So.
And it's seeming pretty lackluster. Like it's very like, this is better than the 12.
Yeah. They're like, this is the best and fastest iPhone Apple has ever made.
Yeah, great.
I mean, it is the newest iPhone that Apple's ever made. So.
It is. It's true. They're not lying. It is the fastest iPhone they've ever made. They're not lying.
Yeah. I think a lot of the reviewers have nailed it, though. They said, if you have a 12, please don't buy this phone.
Yeah.
If you have a 12 series, 12 Pro, or just regular 12, like, don't buy the 13. Maybe if you want the better camera from the 12 to 13, but it's not that big of a difference.
No. Or the refresh rate of promotion.
But they've said if you're on an 11, it'd be worth the upgrade to go from an 11 to a 13.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah. Me too.
That seems like a good take on this phone. Like,
but everything else.
It's iterative.
Yeah.
There's really nothing. Like, the cinematic mode, a lot of reviewers have said this is overhyped. They should have launched it in beta.
Yeah.
And they would have been way better off.
I did
just
see
like
that
saying,
too.
Hey, this is a beta feature, just like they did with portrait mode. On the iPhone 7. I think we were talking about this last
I think it was last episode.
Yeah, which reviewers said the same thing. They're like, they should have launched this in beta. And it would have been a better, smoother launch. So
it's just like, there's just like, I guess that's the issue with annual releases, is it's just like sometimes they're just going to be like, we don't have anything ready for you guys. Here you go.
Or they just want to sell you another phone. They want to sell the diehards that will keep buying new phones.
Yeah. Or on that program that they can update anytime they want.
Yeah.
Which Leanna has that.
Yeah. Leanna's on that program, and it sounds like she's
going to
not.
stay.
Yeah. She's not going to do the 13.
Yeah.
So
it's just, and I also thought it was really interesting that they kind of just like glide past. Oh yeah, now we have 120 hertz screens. Okay, so next feature, because it's just like so like, you guys should have had this for so long.
It was always something that they were going to do, but you can tell that they saved it for a year like this where they didn't really have much that they wanted to add, so they added that, and people are like, cool.
In the reviewers, it's funny because the reviewers are kind of like, it's basically the iPad Pro screen, but in a phone that we've all been waiting for. There you go.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then people that haven't had 120 hertz have tried it, and they're like, this is awesome. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, every other phone has had that. Every other phone at that price point
every
has had
Android. Yeah. You'd be laughed. It would be headlines in the Android community if you had a phone that was $1,000 and it didn't have anything less than 120 hertz.
Yes.
And so it's just one of those years that I remember watching the event and being like,
cool.
All right. Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah. The news has been saying, though, that the MacBook Pros with the new version of the M1 processor, the M1X or the M2.
I'm sure those are going to be awesome.
Yeah. They're saying that is the headline product for Apple this year, which that makes sense. If any of the rumors are true, one single one of the rumors of the MacBook Pro, they're going to knock it out of the park.
Yeah. I have no doubt.
That laptop's going to sell like crazy.
Yeah. Well, and have we heard at all any news on when they're thinking?
This month.
Is it going to be this month?
Should be this month. Yeah. I mean, if any one of the rumors are true, it's going to be it's going to sell like crazy.
Well, they haven't announced the actual event yet, have they?
No.
I wonder if they're going to try to make it close to the Pixel, whenever the Pixel
try to drown it out.
Because
they might.
We were talking like, and there's a lot of articles going on right now that this is the year for Pixel to make an impact on the like the phone segment.
Yep.
Because of iPhone's lackluster year, and because of just basically all the phones except for Samsung. Samsung's been doing a really good job. Are kind of just
whatever.
It was the. I mean, this is the last year for any of those other manufacturers to have a very year. Because like Pixel has just been, they're going so hard.
Yeah,
Google's
they're being
so
super
hard.
aggressive with their marketing and their product strategy. So Yeah, we were saying Android Central had the best headline.
Yes.
What did they say? It was like, if Pixel can't beat an iPhone that's as dull as dirt, then it can never win.
It'll never win. Yeah. If it can't beat it now with an iPhone 13 being like so dull, so boring, then I mean, I'm in the same boat. I'm gonna be like, they'll never beat it.
Yeah, I agree. I think if they can't pull anything out of their hat this year, they're never gonna beat the iPhone.
Yeah. Well, we were talking too, if it could be like really, if Google could just show how serious they are about their product, maybe it would finally start to be able to have those conversations with like Instagram to be able to actually flip the switch on the back end to optimize photo and video on their app.
Pixel hasn't had its pop culture moment yet, and I think that's what's missing.
Yeah.
For Google to have a truly successful phone in the US, it hasn't had that pop culture moment where people are like, oh, I know what the Pixel is. It's that phone that does X.
Yeah, exactly.
Where everyone knows it does that thing.
Yeah.
They haven't had that moment yet. Even though it has so many features that could be that X thing, that X factor, generally people don't know what a Pixel is or what it does.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Pixel fans do. And people that are in the Android sphere, they kind of know. Yeah. But most people in the US, they don't know what a Pixel phone is.
Well, I had a guy that goes to our church, Jim. He last week was like, dude, that Pixel phone though. And I was like, you know,
he's seeing marketing for it?
Yeah. He's an Apple user.
So that tells you how much they're spending.
He was like, that actually looks really cool. He's like, that seems like something that I could get behind. And I was like, it's gonna be the one to get behind. Like, honestly.
Yeah. And that's super cool, though.
We've talked about this a million times, but if they can, the last thing that they really need to rally behind is somehow finding a way to sue the pants off of Apple so they just enable RCS.
Oh, man.
And then, I mean...
Do you think it'll be Google that, like, pushes for that?
No, I think if anything, it might be the carriers. The carriers might be like, all right, come on, we don't
want to just sell iPhones.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah. I think that's exactly it. Because like at the end of the day, all these arguments that Apple makes all the time about security, and they're going to be using SMS.
Like, well, yeah, they're forfeiting their users' privacy.
Yes.
Even if it is to people that have other phones, the argument can't be had that they're caring about their privacy, because those people to Android to Android, they have privacy between those texts. Yeah. The RCS messages.
Oh yeah. They're just biding their time. They're just waiting until someone forces their hand.
Yeah.
Is all it is.
I think it'd be the government.
You think the government?
Yeah. I think it'll be an actual like antitrust type thing.
There has been a lot of government being like, do this now. So
yeah. The Epic lawsuit finally happened. So.
Yeah. It was kind of weird results, I guess, but yeah, that happened. But it's showing, I don't know, it's showing that these big Titanic companies aren't really able to get away with everything that they thought they could anymore.
Google included too. Yeah. I mean, this Epic and Google lawsuit, because there's the Epic and Apple, there's also an Epic and Google lawsuit. It's not looking good for Google either.
Yeah.
Their way that they like push people into the Play Store.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna have to stop that stuff.
Yeah.
And just let other app stores exist.
I think it just levels the playing field. I think it puts consumers first, which I think is really what needs to happen.
Yeah.
Because the whole SMS thing, really at the end of the day, all that is it's putting the company over the user. It's benefiting the company over the user.
Yeah. I mean, those emails that we've talked about in past episodes that went between Apple executives, they knew it. They were like, we can't put iMessage on Android. Yeah. Because people will buy Android phones for their kids.
For the fact of making a buck, which these guys already have so much bucks in their in their pockets.
But that, anyway. I mean, that is a very good point though. The iMessage on Android, they would lose so much money.
Oh yeah.
Over the course of the next 100 years.
That won't happen.
Over the course of the next 100 years, they'd lose so much money.
I don't see them ever doing that.
Yeah.
Unless they were forced.
Yes.
Like, but the RCS thing, I think we'll see it within the next couple of years. I think that so has to be switched on. And it still won't be, I mean, for those of you who are Apple users, it's still not going to be something where iMessage is going to show us as blue bubbles.
No.
It's going to be
we're still going to be green.
Green, yeah, they're still going to keep us green. That they did that on purpose too, right? Green is like an off-putting color, and so they made it green that for a reason. But you'll just see the green bubbles have typing indicators.
Yeah, and read receipts if you want read receipts.
I don't know if they'll enable that you will be able to like it, kind of like how we are able to do with the different emojis.
Yeah, they might not because it's in the RCS spec, I think.
Yeah.
But that's exclusive to Google's version of RCS right now.
Gotcha.
Like they're the only ones that are actually implementing it. So
okay.
I doubt it.
But still, read receipts and typing indicators and full resolution photo and video. That's going to be the thing that I'm sure we'll see.
That's the biggest thing, honestly.
Those are the biggest things. I don't care about emojis.
Yeah.
I only use emojis like a text or something like that when I just don't feel like typing out.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I don't feel like doing that, like every once in a while I'll like type out haha and just be like,
LOL.
I could literally just do the
yeah,
whatever, the reactions. That's what they're called, reactions.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, it's interesting stuff that's going on. iPhone 13 is just kind of poorly timed, especially for Pixel 6 coming around the corner. Mm-hmm. It's poorly timed for it to be an iterative year. There's no way that Apple could have, well, I would say there's no way they could have known that Pixel 6 was going to try this hard, but I'm sure they knew.
They probably knew, but I think their priorities are shifting. If you look at them as a company, like they want to sell services really, really badly.
Yeah, for sure.
And they know it too, because they really don't care if you buy an iPhone every year, because a majority of people are not going to buy an iPhone every year.
Yeah.
So they're doing these iterative updates. Like we're saying, it's worth the upgrade for someone that has an 11 or has an iPhone 10R even, because they know that those people are actually the ones that are going to buy this 13.
Yeah.
Most of their users that have a 12 are not going to buy a 13. Mm-hmm. They know that too. But they want those people to keep buying iPhones even every 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Because they want them on Apple services.
Yeah.
They want them on iCloud photos.
Yeah.
The storage.
Now TV.
They want Apple TV Plus. They want the Apple Fitness Plus. Mm-hmm. They want those subscriptions. And that's, I think, ultimately what you're going to see Apple shift more so in their focus is more towards services.
Yeah.
It's already happening.
It gets really expensive really fast for the user to end up having to pay so much for each individual service.
Which they do Apple One that bundles all of those together. They're pushing that too.
Yeah.
It's like an umbrella service that has Fitness Plus. They have different, like 2 or 3 tiers of Apple One too. But it just is one subscription for iCloud, Apple Music, Apple Fitness Plus, and Apple TV Plus. So
how much, do you know how much that is?
I don't, not off the top of my head. It saves you only a couple bucks a month, but it's kind of nice to just have one
catch-all.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you. And so that's why it's exciting that we have the Pixel 6 hardware to look forward to when everything else seems like it's going software. I'm going to stop talking about the Pixel 6, okay? I'm going to stop doing it. I'm just really excited.
We're both very excited.
I'm sure you are too. If you're listening to this kind of a podcast, you're probably pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
And all you Apple folks should be excited too, because it just means more competition and pushing the industry forward and not staying so stagnant.
For sure. I mean, the smarter Pixels get, the smarter iPhones get, because, and this has already happened with iPhone camera.
Yeah.
Right? Like the Pixel had by far better photos for like 2 years. And then Apple caught up. Yeah. And it's because of the Pixel that Apple had to catch up.
Yeah.
So
no, it's true.
It benefits everyone.
I agree. Well, why don't you take us through the next topic of Wintel, if anyone even knew what that meant.
It was a term back when Windows and Intel were like the best friends and best buddies.
Yeah.
And it seemed like if you bought a Windows device, you could only get an Intel device. I don't think we're really going back to that though, necessarily.
No, yeah.
I mean, AMD is kicking butt.
Gotcha on the clickbait.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we're really going back to the dark days where when Intel was the only option, because AMD is doing great work right now. Even in the mobile segment for laptops, they're crushing it.
Oh yeah, it's great. This what we're recording on right now is an AMD machine. So
which generation is it?
This is I think it's the 4000.
4000?
Yeah.
Got you. Yeah, 49.
Yeah, I think it's the 4900.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great machine.
Oh yeah, I'm super happy with it.
Yeah.
Except for when it sounds like it's taking off.
Yeah.
That happens sometimes on the podcast. I don't know if they can hear it, but
which if you had an Apple M series.
I know, but you know how much I hate those Apples. Kidding.
Fair.
Kidding. Continue.
Yeah, so this is mainly around the Surface event.
Yes.
We really haven't covered the Surface event.
It was in between episodes, I think.
Yeah. It wasn't last week. It was just like the week before.
Right after.
Yeah, right after our last recording. So, yeah, Surfaces, they announced a lot. There's the Surface Pro 8, which is the first like actual big redesign to the Surface Pro line in a long time. Almost like 10 years.
Oh my, I didn't know it was that long.
I think it was like 8 years since the last big redesign, since Surface Pro 3.
Yeah.
Because they've really looked the same since then.
It's not broken. Don't fix it.
Yeah.
Because it's broken now. They had to fix it.
Well, they got enough complaints.
Yeah.
People are like, this looks the same.
Yeah, come on.
So yeah, that's super cool. A little bit thinner. They're switching to Thunderbolt exclusively on that, which is a good move, rather than still telling people that USB-C is not the way to go. And people are like, it already happened.
Yeah. Ooh, that just reminded me of something that we could talk about too. Did you see the whole European Union?
Oh yeah.
Like how they're actually suing Apple and saying that the Lightning port is awful for the environment, and it's forcing people to use an inferior port.
Yep.
And that is only for iPhones.
Did you see Apple's response?
I haven't seen Apple's response. What did they say?
You should look it up.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on here.
We should just get the quote because it's honestly hilarious that they are in their own alternate reality that they could say this with confidence.
Response
to European Union.
In response, Apple said, here, let me see.
Is this it? No, that's April 30th, 2021. We need something newer.
Let's see here.
I say response to EU for Lightning port.
Response to EU. Lightning. There we go. January. You keep talking to the good people. I'll look for this.
We'll see if we can find the actual quote because it's funny. But basically the EU is saying people are forced to have more cables around than they really should have to have around. Simply because the iPhone uses the Lightning port, and every other phone that is a consumer electronic now, consumer phone, uses USB Type-C. I don't think Apple is going to follow through. Yeah. I think they're going to rip the port out.
Oh, yeah, they're just going to go...
Which a lot of people are saying the same thing.
Which we've kind of known that for a while, right?
That might be it right
Which
there.
one? This one right here?
Yeah. I just really wish we can find this quote.
I'll keep looking and see if I can find it. Oh.
Ads.
Stupid. Oh my gosh, this
Whoa.
thing. Look at all these ads.
You have to register.
Oh, I'm not going to register. Well, shoot. Maybe we can put it in
I can give the gist.
Okay.
And then we'll probably link it in the description of the podcast or the video. Basically, Apple said, we don't like what the EU is telling us, and what they are asking us to do will stifle innovation around ports.
Oh, no, this is
and
June.
The future of ports. And the reason it's so funny is they're claiming that the EU forcing them to adopt a standard port stifles innovation.
Oh.
When the Lightning port is the least innovative thing to happen to ports since USB Type-C.
Yeah. Yeah.
USB Type-C is after Lightning came out.
Yeah.
So that was an innovation on Lightning. And Apple's saying, oh, well, us forced to have to use USB Type-C. It basically means that, we couldn't innovate on something better.
Yeah. Actually,
like, well, you actually haven't switched to a new cable.
I had just pulled that up too. I saw that quote. I think it's right.
Did you?
I did. Connector cable assemblies, blah blah blah.
Yeah, here we go.
The approach is more affordable and convenient for consumers, enables charging for a wide range of portable electronics products, encourages people to reuse their charger, and allows for innovation. Apple, let's see.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll find it.
Oh, I had it too. Yeah. Dang it. Anyway.
It's all right. We'll link it.
Yeah, we'll link it.
Yeah, that was the gist. They were just saying that, like, you forcing us to switch means that we won't be able to innovate on another port. And people are like, well, you've been using the same port for like 10 years. So that doesn't really prove anything.
In a statement shared with Reuters, Apple said, we remain concerned that strict regulation mandating just one type of connector stifles innovation rather than encouraging it, which in turn will harm consumers in Europe and around the world.
So dramatic.
Yeah, so dramatic.
Completely inaccurate, because Lightning is actually based on the USB 2.0 standard.
Yeah, it's slow.
It doesn't use USB 3.
Yeah, it's really slow.
It's also power capped. So Lightning can't hit the 100 watt or now the 240 watt power that USB Type-C can.
Yeah.
So it's not innovative in any way. No.
Well, that's why Apple uses USB-C on a lot of their other products.
On their iPads, they've switched now with the Mini, they've switched every iPad except the standard just $300 iPad to USB Type-C.
Yeah.
Because it's better.
Yeah.
That's why MacBooks use USB Type-C.
Yeah.
So they're talking out of both sides of their mouth.
Yeah. So
and
stupid.
It's honestly really funny.
Yeah, they just got caught with it. Like this is what I'm talking about, though. This is what's going to happen with RCS too.
Yes.
Is that what is some company or government is going to be like, you can't do this anymore. Just enable it. Just do it. It doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah. It honestly costs them a lot in the loss because they make so much money off of Lightning.
Off of Lightning specific cables.
For Lightning accessories and
everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Companies have to pay Apple to use Lightning in their products.
So dumb. So dumb.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just business, I guess.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Rumors are that they're going to rip the Lightning port out and not put USB Type-C in and just go to wireless charging.
Well, hey, what's his face? John Prosser, his renders showed it was still, the 14 was still using a Lightning port.
Before all of this. But the EU is giving them 2 years.
Yes.
Which they kind of have to because of like supply chains and stuff. Yeah. So they have to give them a 2-year leeway to follow this law if it does pass. So we could be looking at an iPhone 14 with Lightning, iPhone 14s or 15 with just wireless charging.
I'm not looking forward to that day.
No.
I don't want a portless phone.
I don't either. I mean, imagine even if the wireless is 20 watts, it can't be a 60 watt wireless charging.
Yeah. Well, I just think too, those of us that use like Apple or Android Auto and stuff like that, if I was an Apple user, I would have to upgrade it to a deck that can do wireless CarPlay.
Yep.
Like, and
that's
so
true.
It's just like stuff like that you're just like, oh, I can't use this anymore. I can't use this anymore. Like, if wireless is just like not really a possibility, you can't use it anymore. Everyone knows that. I mean, that's why that's why I'm using a headset that has a cable on it, because for any professional use, you still want to be hardwired for stuff.
You don't want the latency and
exactly. Yeah. So I'm glad I'm not an Apple user. So, but we'll see. I want to give Windows their time to shine, though. I'm sorry I took it away from you.
No, it's all good. I mean, I'm not hardly even a Windows user.
I was apologizing to Windows.
Oh.
Just saying, I just took the attention away from you. Okay. They never have it on them, so.
That's true.
I'm kidding. Surface. So the Surface, you said the Pro 8?
Surface Pro 8 redesign,
Yes.
thinner, lighter.
First
I think
time in
there's
10
an
years.
LTE option.
Yeah.
So it's not required on all of them, but it has an LTE option. And then Surface Pro or Surface Studio is the replacement for the Surface Book.
Yeah. And
this is probably, I think this would be like the show, quote unquote, showstopper of the whole Surface event. For better or worse, I don't know if it's going to sell like crazy. Surface Laptop Studio, sorry.
Oh, okay.
I think there's a link in there too. Yeah, so Surface Laptop Studio, it's pretty cool. Kind of imagine a laptop where the display is like an easel, so it'll pop off and actually come forward towards you. I don't know if we can share our screen. Da-da-da. Yeah, sweet. So this is the Surface Laptop Studio.
When you can just see.
Yeah.
Watch us on YouTube.
Yeah, if you're listening, check us out on YouTube. Yeah. Surface Laptop Studio, it has this crazy design where it's on a pedestal. So the actual device is a lot thicker than it looks in a lot of photos that you're going to see. And that's where all of the ventilation is and everything underneath. A lot of reviewers have pointed out if they had just gone to ARM and they had a real ARM strategy, they wouldn't have had to do the pedestal, which is true. But yeah, I mean, they're putting some pretty beefy Intel processors in this. And that's where also some of the flack is coming in. People are like, why didn't you do an AMD processor on this supposedly supposed to be very powerful machine?
Yeah.
When the AMD processors are cheaper and faster.
Yeah. You know what I find is kind of interesting is that like I got a small, I have the well, let me switch over back here. I have the small 14-inch Asus Zephyrus 14. And I got the small one because I wanted to be able to take it with me everywhere. I've realized that with phones getting as with phones getting as good as they're getting,
just see where you're going
with and tablets getting as good as they're getting, I don't want to bring my laptop with
It's only going to get more so that direction with foldables.
Yeah, 100%.
When we have a foldable that I've been saying it for a while. When there's a foldable that runs Chrome OS and you can just like have that be your phone, your tablet, and then dock it, put a keyboard, wireless keyboard. That's your mobile device.
Yeah, like, what's the point of a laptop?
Why do you need a laptop? Just have a powerful desktop at home.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I mean, I guess the portability is nice I guess when I'm doing editing, sometimes I'll go out in the living room and do editing.
Sure.
Out in the living room. But
you know what you could do?
What?
Is you could remote desktop.
Yeah, that's true too. Yep. Yeah, no, it's true.
If you're just looking for a change of like environment, just remote desktop.
Yeah. I mean, I think it looks pretty slick. The laptop studio.
Yeah, I think it looks cool. I don't love the pedestal design that they're going with. I think it should just be, like everyone said, thinner. They should have a ARM processor in it.
It looks different though.
Yes,
which is
I like
cool.
The easel aspect of it for sure. And it'll lay all the way flat for design and taking notes, all that kind of stuff. It's very expensive, but it is a Surface, and Surface devices are normally pretty expensive.
Yeah. And then you also have the Surface Duo.
Yep. So this would be the other probably tie for the headline of the event, the Surface Duo 2.
Oh yeah, you're right, dude.
It's kind of a funny name, Duo 2.
Oh yeah. If you're Hispanic, then you're like, huh? What? Let's see here. Trying to give you guys a look-see.
Yeah.
It's this.
It's a pretty unique design. I mean, it looks similar to the Surface.
Have you seen the side
Duo? Yeah.
Too, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, they have this little like peak. I can't remember what they call it.
I can't remember what they call it.
They branded it, of course, like anything. It needs branding.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. This is perfect. Let's just put this in.
Yeah. So here's all of the modes. It's got the tent mode, folded out completely. It also has a peak mode, which you can see just kind of in the like bottom left corner, where you can crack it open a little bit and see your time, see some notifications, which is pretty cool. You can't really see it from here, but the camera bump is angled.
Oh.
so it lays flat.
Interesting. Yeah, I wonder if there's any here.
Yeah, I can't really tell there. Quite tell, but yeah, the camera bump is angled.
It is cool. This is for a productivity monster, for someone who wants just to be able to run 2 different apps, because I did read that was their main thing.
Yeah,
they want to run 2 apps on
2 apps. They even do the split screen thing. So on they call them app groups, I think. On your home screen, you can set an icon that launches 2 apps simultaneously on each screen.
Yeah.
So like, let's say your mail and your calendar, you can have next to each other side by side. You just tap one app icon and it'll launch both.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
No, I
for
agree.
People that are in that vein of executives and corporate people that are in email and calendar all the time.
This definitely seems a lot more geared towards a professional.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the Samsung Fold did a good job of just being kind of just your every like bougie kind of category, whereas like if you have the money to be like, oh yeah, look at this is really cool. This seems very, very squarely directed towards business professionals to me.
Yeah, I think so too. It does have the gaming aspect though too. Did you see some of the demos they had?
Yeah.
Like some mobile games will be optimized to have mini maps on the bottom with the controls,
which would be cool.
And then you get your full screen up top, so it'll actually move the mini map down off of your screen. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And just little optimizations like that. Which the thing that I always go back to when we talk about the Duo is really this should be more like a Fold, I think, and not have the 2 separate displays.
Yeah.
Because everything that you can do with this, with the 2 apps next to each other, you can do with the Fold.
Yeah.
With one display. Yeah. And just move it to one side and move it to one side.
Yeah.
And split screen.
Well,
you don't need 2 displays.
Yeah. And I think it's just interesting that you had, I can't remember, I'm pretty sure it was a Windows rep, kind of being like, oh, and you can like just like play this game in full screen. Like, look how beautiful it is. And then
there's the line all the way down the middle of your
there's that
game.
break. And I'm like, that completely destroys my immersion
for sure.
Of any content. Content.
The only advantage that the 2 completely separate displays gives you is really just the thinness. So it can, when it's folded up, it actually can be a thinner device. Yeah. That's the only advantage that it gives you.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I think it's cool. I like the hardware innovations with the hinge. The hinge is still probably one of the better hinges on the market. It's not one that I would ever own. I think you said too that it's not really not one that you'd ever own either. But it's just still, again, it's just something that pushes the industry forward. Mm-hmm. It's a different way of doing things, and I'm always going to appreciate that. But I like it. I mean, the aesthetic's cool too. It seems a little wide for my taste.
I was just going to say, it's too square for me.
Yeah.
I wish it was a little bit more
rectangular. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. But I mean, hey, Windows is coming up with some cool stuff, for sure. Yeah. I'm still excited for the Pixel.
Always back. You said you weren't going to talk about it anymore.
I know. I said. I'm sorry. I did lie. I lied to
viewers and
listeners. To all 10 of you.
We have more than that.
We have more than 10 listeners. I love you.
We have 11.
Guys. Like and comment and subscribe. Hit the bell icon.
And share.
Yes. Hit the bell icon for notifications when these go premiere live. And work hard on these.
I would like to do some live streams if we can.
It would be really fun. I mean, honestly,
well,
I just wish that companies would give you more of a heads up. They don't give you a big heads up anymore.
Yeah.
Like we were going to try to do the Apple one
tomorrow.
Yeah. Like we were going to try to do the Apple one, but then it was just like, it was such short notice that we were just like, oh, they confirmed it, but it's like next week.
Yeah. We had a week to prep for that. And I would have to ask, cause I work, Monday through Thursday.
You work?
So I'd have to like ask for that time slot off. They would work around that, but
but it's still just inconvenient. And right now still this is like a hobby for us. We just enjoy doing it. But if you guys share, like, comment, then maybe one day it could be something bigger than that.
Yeah, and we can post more often.
Yeah, we would love to do that. Like we talked about doing going a week, like posting weekly. Gonna have to do another super montage. we talked about doing the weekly thing, but like until we see like more interest, it's hard for us to be able to commit to every single week. For sure. But if you guys show the interest, we're more than happy to jump on board with something like that if it fits within our time. But really, I mean, I think that's it. We're hitting an hour here in like now. A timer going off on the bottom. But yeah, I mean, I think that about wraps it up on this episode. Just keep your eyes open for Pixel news because it's going to be coming up really quick, and
we're going to keep talking about it.
We're going to keep talking about it
until it happens. Even if they skip the pixels, they just say psych. That was all a joke. We're still going to talk about it.
I might sell my Pixel at that point. I'd be like, screw you guys.
Crying.
Yeah, crying. Like
I'm not crying. You're crying.
But just keep your eyes open. It's going to happen pretty soon. If we at all can, we'll try to live stream that. If we like the stars align and we're both available, we'll try to do a live stream.
I would love to do that.
Because that would be a super fun and exciting one for us personally. But really, again, we gushed at the beginning. You guys don't need any more gushing, but thank you so much for listening. For those of you who listen every single episode, like we're just so grateful for you guys, but we'll just keep putting them out. But until next time, like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the bell icon for notifications on whenever it goes live.
All of the things that every other YouTuber tells you to do.
Yes.
Do those things.
Maybe the next time we just paste in like Marquez or something like that saying exactly that, and we could just be like, there you go, I didn't have to say it. But yeah, do that, and we will see you next time. See ya.
Peace.